Hello, English learners. Welcome back to Talk English Now. I'm Sarah, and today we're going to talk about something that can truly change your confidence: how to start talking to anyone, naturally and easily, in English. Before we begin, I just want to let you know that we upload new English learning lessons every single day, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss a new lesson. Now let's start learning together. Talking to new people in English can feel scary at first. Your mind goes blank, your words disappear, and you start thinking, "What should I say?" But here's the truth: everyone feels this way, even native speakers sometimes, so don't worry, you are not alone. Today, we'll take it step by step and learn how to start small, use simple English, and sound friendly and confident in real conversations. First, imagine you're standing in front of someone new, maybe a classmate, a coworker, or someone at a cafe. You want to talk, but you're not sure how to begin. The best way to start is small. Don't try to make a big conversation right away. Start with something short and simple. A friendly greeting is always your best friend. You can just say, "Hi," or "Hey, how are you?" Simple words, but said with a smile, can open the door to a great conversation. When you say, "Hi, how are you?" most people will respond automatically. They might say, "I'm good, how about you?" And that's your chance to continue the conversation. You can reply, "I'm good too, thanks," and then add something like, "It's a nice day, isn't it?" This small question keeps the talk going and shows you're interested. Remember, conversations are not about perfect grammar. They're about connection. Now, let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. "Hi, how are you?" "I'm good, thanks. And you?" "It's nice to meet you. It's a beautiful day today, isn't it?" Very good. Each of these short lines can help you start talking to someone with ease. The more you practice, the more natural they will feel. When you're starting a conversation, it's also important to use friendly body language. Even though we're focusing on spoken English, how you move and look also matters. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed, smile softly, and look at the person while speaking. Good eye contact shows you're confident, even if you're still learning English. You don't need to stare, just look, smile, and be open. And here's something to remember: you don't have to be perfect to be friendly. People care more about your attitude than your accent. If you make a small mistake, don't freeze. Just laugh lightly, correct yourself, or keep going. You can say something like, "Oops, and continue your sentence. This shows confidence and makes the conversation more natural. Even native speakers correct themselves all the time. Now imagine this. You walk into a coffee shop. You see someone waiting next to you. You can start small. Say, "This line is long today, isn't it?" Or "The coffee smells amazing." You're not talking about something deep or serious, just something around you. These little comments are called small talk, and they're a great way to break the silence and connect. Let's try it together. "This line is long today, isn't it?" "It smells so good here. The weather is nice today." Simple sentences like these help you start conversations without stress. Don't worry about sounding too simple. Simple English is good English when you use it naturally. Now, here's an important tip. Ask questions that are easy to answer. When you ask yes or no questions, people might just answer with one word. But if you ask open questions, they'll talk more, and the conversation will grow. For example, instead of asking, "Do you like your job?" you can ask, "What do you like about your job?" Instead of, "Do you live here?" try, "How long have you lived here?" Open questions make people share more about themselves, and that helps you keep talking. Try saying, these questions out loud with me. What do you like about your job? How long have you lived here? What kind of music do you like? Where do you usually go on weekends? Excellent! These questions are perfect for everyday conversations, and you can use them with friends, classmates, or even strangers. Remember, talking to anyone with confidence doesn't mean talking a lot. Confidence means being comfortable, even in silence. Sometimes you don't need to fill every second with words. Just smile, nod, and listen. People love to feel heard. When you listen carefully and respond with interest, you become a great communicator. Let's talk about listening for a moment. Listening is just as important as speaking. When someone talks, don't think about what you'll say next right away. Focus on their words. If they say, "I love traveling," you can reply, "Oh, really? Where have you traveled to?" That small question keeps the conversation flowing and shows that you're paying attention. Listening well makes you sound more fluent because your responses fit naturally. And here's something that might surprise you. Fluent speakers aren't always the fastest speakers. Fluency is about flow, not speed. It's about keeping the conversation alive without freezing. You can speak slowly and still sound confident. In fact, many good English speakers talk slowly on purpose because it helps them sound clearer and more thoughtful. Now, let's have a short practice moment together. Imagine you meet someone new. I'll say my line, and you imagine your answer in your mind. Ready? Hi, how's your day going? Good. Now imagine your answer. Maybe it's going well, thank you. How about you? Great, let's try another. Are you from around here? Imagine you reply, "Yes, I live nearby," or "No, I'm visiting." Wonderful. These small exchanges help you practice the rhythm of English conversation. Sometimes people worry too much about what others will think. Maybe you think, "What if they don't understand me?" Or, "What if I say something wrong?" Here's my advice. Stop worrying about being perfect and start focusing on being kind and curious. Most people appreciate your effort to speak English. They'll see your smile, hear your confidence, and feel your positive energy. That's what really matters. If you're enjoying this lesson so far, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. Your support helps us create more free lessons like this, and I truly appreciate having you here. Now, let's talk about mistakes for a moment. Mistakes are a normal part of learning. Think of them as your teachers. When you say something incorrectly, you're not failing, you're learning. Every time you speak, you discover what works and what doesn't. Even if you forget a word, don't stop. You can describe it. For example, if you forget the word umbrella, you can say, "The thing you use when it rains." This kind of flexible speaking makes you sound smart and creative. Let's practice paraphrasing together. I'll give you an idea and you try to explain it in another way. Ready? It's very cold outside. You can also say, "The weather is freezing," or "It's chilly today." Another one, "I'm tired." You can say, "I feel sleepy," or "I need to rest." Perfect. Practicing this skill will help you keep conversations going even when you forget a word. And remember, the more you speak, the easier it gets. Don't wait for the perfect time or the perfect English. Speak now, make mistakes, and keep smiling. Confidence grows through action, not waiting. By the end of this lesson, you'll realize that starting a conversation in English isn't about fancy words or big grammar. It's about being friendly, listening, and showing interest. So keep listening closely, keep repeating with me, and you'll soon notice your English conversations becoming smoother and more natural every day. Now let's go a little deeper. Once you've learned to start a conversation, the next step is to keep it alive. Many learners tell me, Sarah, I can start talking, but then I don't know what to say next. Does that sound familiar? Don't worry, we'll fix that together. The secret is to use small, simple follow-up questions. These are your best tools to keep someone talking and make the chat feel natural. For example, if someone says, I like movies, you can answer, Oh, really? What kind of movies do you like? Or do you go to the cinema often? You're not changing the topic, you're staying with it and showing interest. People love when you listen and ask questions about them. It makes them feel comfortable around you. And when they feel comfortable, you'll feel more relaxed too. Let's practice this with a few examples. I'll say a sentence and then I'll model a good question you can ask after it. I'm learning English. That's great. How long have you been learning? I work in an office. Oh, nice. What kind of work do you do? I love cooking. That's awesome. What's your favorite dish to cook? See how easy it is? These small questions can keep a conversation flowing like a river, nice and smooth. Now, here's a small trick. You don't always need to ask a full question to show interest. You can use short, natural expressions that keep the conversation alive. Try saying, Really? That's interesting. Oh, wow. I see. Me too. These short responses show you're listening and paying attention. They make the other person want to keep talking to you. Practice saying them with natural intonation and a smile. Let's do a short listening and repeating session together. Say these after me slowly. Really? That's nice. I see. Wow, that's cool. Me too. Great job. These little expressions may look small, but they make your English sound alive and natural. Many fluent speakers use them all the time. Sometimes the other person may ask you a question, and you might feel nervous because you're not sure what to say. Here's what you can do. Keep your answers short at first, and then add 1 or 2 extra details. For example, if someone asks, What do you do? Instead of only saying I'm a student, you can say, I'm a student. I study English and computer science. See? One short sentence, and then a little detail. That's enough to make your answer sound interesting and natural. Let's try a few more together. Where do you live? You can answer, I live in Karachi. It's a big, busy city. Or I live in a small town near the mountains. Another one, what do you like to do in your free time? You can say, I like reading. I read English stories every night before bed. These answers are simple but personal, and that's what makes conversations meaningful. Now let's talk about one of the biggest fears English learners have, running out of things to say. You start strong, then suddenly your mind goes blank. That's completely normal. When that happens, use your surroundings, look around and talk about what you see. If you're in a cafe, you can say, This coffee smells so good, or It's nice and quiet here. If you're in class, you can say, The lesson today was interesting, or I liked the teacher's example. Talking about your environment keeps the conversation going without pressure. And here's another secret. People love talking about themselves. So when in doubt, ask about them. You can ask, Do you like living here? What do you usually do on weekends? Do you have any hobbies? Simple, friendly questions like these make the other person feel seen and heard, and as they speak, you'll relax because the focus is not only on you. Remember, the goal is not to speak perfectly, but to connect. When you connect, even short, simple sentences become powerful. Think of communication as a bridge. You don't need a perfect design. You just need something strong enough to walk across. And every time you speak, your bridge becomes stronger. Let's have a little confidence exercise right now. Imagine you meet someone new. Take a deep breath and picture yourself smiling. You walk up and say, "Hi, I'm learning English." The person smiles and says, "Oh, nice, your English is good." You reply, "Thank you. I still make mistakes, but I love practicing." That short conversation already shows confidence, honesty, and friendliness. You didn't need big words. You just needed warmth. When you speak English, your tone and rhythm are just as important as your words. Speak clearly and gently. You don't have to speak loudly to be confident. In fact, calm and slow speech often sounds more confident than fast talking. Take your time between sentences. Use pauses naturally. Like this. "Hi, I'm Sarah. It's nice to meet you." The pause makes your English sound real and expressive. Let's practice some rhythm together. Repeat after me slowly. "Hi, how are you?" Pause. "I'm good, thank you." Pause. "What about you?" Pause. "It's nice to see you again." Excellent. Rhythm gives life to your words. The more you practice speaking with flow and pauses, the more confident you'll sound in every conversation. Now let's talk about body language again, because it really helps you appear confident even before you speak. Stand or sit straight but relaxed. Keep your chin slightly up. Look at the person's face when you talk, and most importantly, smile. A simple smile is powerful. It makes you and the other person feel at ease. Even if your English is basic, your smile communicates warmth and kindness. That's what people remember. When you're nervous, your body becomes tense. You might speak too fast or forget words. To stop this, take a slow breath before you start. Inhale gently, exhale slowly, and then speak. Breathing helps your voice sound calm and stable. Try it now. Take a slow breath in and out, then say, "Hi, how are you today?" See how peaceful it feels. Practicing this small breathing habit before speaking can make a big difference. Another great trick to sound natural is to use reaction sounds. Native speakers often say things like, "Uh-huh, oh, yeah," while listening. These tiny sounds show that you're following the conversation. They don't have deep meaning, but they make you sound more natural and engaged. So next time you're listening, try using soft reaction sounds instead of silence. Now let's talk about humor and friendliness. Being friendly doesn't mean you have to be funny all the time. It just means being open and positive. But a little light humor can make conversations easier. You can say something simple like, "My English is still learning too," or "Sometimes my brain forgets words before my mouth does." People will laugh with you, and that laughter will reduce your nervousness. Humor is like a bridge, it connects hearts quickly. You might be wondering, Sarah, what if someone doesn't seem interested or gives short answers? That can happen, and it's not your fault. Sometimes people are busy or shy. You can try changing the topic gently. For example, if you asked about their job and they give a short answer, you can say, "Oh, that sounds busy. Do you get much free time?" Or, "I see, that must be challenging." You're showing empathy and trying to keep the flow. But if they still don't respond much, it's okay to smile and end politely. You can say, "It was nice talking to you," and move on. Not every conversation has to last long. Remember this, a confident English speaker is not someone who talks all the time. It's someone who knows when to talk, when to listen, and when to smile. Real confidence is quiet but strong. It grows every time you try. Let's do another quick practice together. I'll be the person starting a chat, and you imagine your answer in your head. Ready? "Hey, how's your week going?" Imagine your reply. "Maybe pretty good, thanks." How about yours? Next. 1. I saw you at the cafe yesterday. Do you go there often? Imagine you reply, yeah, I go there for coffee sometimes. Perfect. The more you do this in your head, the easier it becomes in real life. When you're practicing English alone, try talking to yourself in short sentences. Describe what you're doing. For example, say, I'm making tea, or I'm reading a book. It might sound funny, but it's one of the best ways to build fluency. You're training your brain to think directly in English. The more you speak, even to yourself, the faster your mind connects thoughts and words. Before we finish this part, I want you to remember something very important. You already have everything you need to talk to anyone with confidence. All you have to do is practice daily, speak kindly, and keep showing up. English is not a wall to climb, it's a path to walk. Step by step, word by word, you're getting closer to fluency every single day. Now let's move on to one of my favorite parts of learning English. How to feel relaxed while speaking. So many learners tell me, Sarah, I know the words, I understand what people say, but when it's my turn to talk, I freeze. That's completely normal. Your brain is working in two languages at once. It's listening, translating, and trying to build sentences all at the same time. No wonder it feels stressful sometimes. But here's the good news. We can train your mind and body to stay calm when you speak. The first thing you can do is breathe before speaking. It sounds simple, but it works. When you take a deep breath, your body tells your brain, it's okay, I can do this. Before you answer a question, just take one small breath and then begin slowly. You'll notice your words come out smoother and clearer. Try it now with me. Breathe in slowly and out. And now say softly, hello, nice to meet you. That's it. Breathing is your secret key to confidence. The second thing is to prepare your brain with short warm-up phrases. These are small, easy sentences you can use to start speaking before a real conversation. For example, you can say to yourself, it's a beautiful morning. I feel ready to practice today. I can speak clearly and slowly. These short affirmations tell your mind that speaking English is safe and easy. They help remove fear before you even start. Now let's try something together. I'll say a few sentences and you repeat them with me slowly and confidently. Ready? I can speak English clearly. I don't need to be perfect to communicate. Every time I speak, I improve. I feel calm and confident when I talk to people. Wonderful. You see, confidence begins before the conversation even starts. When your thoughts are calm, your words flow naturally. When you're actually speaking with someone, focus on the connection, not the grammar. Of course, grammar is important, but it's not the star of the show. You are. Imagine a conversation like a dance. If you think too much about your steps, you'll forget to enjoy the music, but if you move naturally, you'll find your rhythm. Communication is just like that. Even if you make a small mistake, keep moving with your words. Let me tell you a quick story. One of my students once said, Sarah, I was so nervous speaking to my new coworker that I said, I'm boring instead of, I'm bored. We both laughed about it. The coworker laughed too, and they ended up having a fun conversation. The mistake didn't ruin the moment. It made it more human. Remember this. Mistakes create memories, not failures. When you talk to someone new, try to notice their energy. If they speak softly, match their tone. If they're energetic and cheerful, smile a bit more. Matching energy helps the conversation feel balanced and natural. You don't have to copy them exactly, but finding a similar rhythm helps people feel comfortable with you. It's like tuning your instrument to match the other person's song. Let's practice something. Important now. How to react when you don't understand something. Many learners panic and say nothing, but silence can make the moment awkward. Instead, use simple, polite phrases to ask for clarification. Try saying, "Sorry, could you say that again, please?" Or, "I didn't catch that. Can you repeat it?" Or, "What does that mean?" These are powerful tools. You're not showing weakness, you're showing curiosity and confidence. Say them with me. "Sorry, could you say that again, please?" "I didn't catch that. What does that mean?" Good. Using these phrases will help you feel in control of any conversation. Remember, communication is a two-way street. It's okay to ask and learn. Sometimes you'll meet people who speak very fast. Don't worry. You can always say, "Can you speak a little slower?" Or, "Sorry, I'm learning English. Could you please repeat that?" Most people will be happy to slow down for you. You don't have to feel embarrassed for asking. You're showing effort, and effort is always respected. Let's take a moment to practice a real-life example. Imagine you're meeting a tourist in your city. They say something quickly, and you don't understand every word. You smile and say, "Sorry, could you say that again, please?" They repeat slowly, and you answer, Yes, the museum is down this street." Perfect! You've just turned a difficult situation into a confident one. Now let's talk about how to continue conversations naturally. Many learners stop too early. After one question and one answer, they go silent. But you can use conversation bridges to keep things going. A bridge connects one idea to the next. For example, after you answer a question, you can add, "What about you?" or "Do you like it too?" These short bridges invite the other person to speak again. Try it with me. "I like music. What about you?" "I visited the park yesterday. Have you been there?" "I love coffee. Do you drink coffee too?" Wonderful! Every time you add a small bridge, your English becomes more fluent and the talk feels easy. Another great way to continue is to use comments instead of questions sometimes. For example, if someone says, "I like traveling," you can say, "Oh, traveling is amazing. I love visiting new places too." This shows you share the same feeling and keeps the chat friendly. You don't always have to ask questions. Sharing your own thoughts makes the conversation balanced. Let's do a short shadowing exercise. I'll say a sentence and you repeat it right after me as if we're having a conversation. Ready? "Hi, nice to meet you." "Hi, nice to meet you too." "I love watching movies." "Oh, really? What kind of movies?" "Mostly comedies. They make me laugh." "That's great. I like comedies too." Beautiful. Shadowing helps you feel the rhythm and emotion of real conversations. If you can, try shadowing English dialogues from movies or short videos every day. Don't worry about understanding every single word. Just focus on copying the tone, speed, and pauses. It's like training your mouth to move smoothly. This kind of practice improves both your listening and your speaking skills at the same time. Now let's talk about how to stay positive when you speak. Sometimes you'll have good days and bad days. On some days, you'll talk easily. On others, your mind will feel slow. That's okay. Even fluent speakers have off days. What matters is that you keep showing up. Learning a language is not a race, it's a journey. Every time you try, you move forward. When you make progress, celebrate it, even if it's small. Did you talk to a stranger in English today? That's a big win. Did you answer a phone call without switching to your native language? That's progress. Did you understand a new word in a movie? Amazing! Celebrate those moments. Confidence grows when you recognize your success. Here's a nice mental exercise you can do every evening. Before bed, think of 3 small English wins from your day. Maybe you learned a new phrase, watched a video in English, or practiced reading for 5 minutes. Say to yourself, I did well today. I'm improving. Tomorrow, I'll keep going. This creates a positive habit that strengthens your motivation. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. Your support helps us keep creating free lessons for learners like you, and I truly appreciate it. Now, let's talk about connecting with others emotionally. The best conversations are not about words, they're about feelings. When someone says, I'm tired, you can respond, yeah, it's been a long day, hasn't it? When they say, I love weekends, you can smile and say, me too! I finally get time to relax. These small emotional replies show understanding and they make people like talking to you. Fluency is not just speaking, it's connecting hearts. Also, try to show interest by repeating key words from the other person's sentence. If they say, I love reading, you can say, oh, you love reading? What kind of books? It's simple, but it works like magic. You're using their own words to continue the flow. It feels natural and shows that you're really listening. Let's finish this section with one final practice. I'll start a small dialogue, and you respond in your head or out loud. Ready? Hi! How's everything going? Good. What do you like to do in your free time? That sounds interesting. I like that too. Excellent. Keep practicing small conversations like this every day. Even 5 minutes of daily speaking will transform your fluency over time. And remember, every confident English speaker you admire once started exactly where you are right now. They made mistakes, they felt nervous, they practiced, and they kept going. The only difference is they didn't give up. So, take a deep breath, smile, and believe in your progress, because you're doing amazing already. Now, let's move deeper into something many learners forget: being curious when you speak. Curiosity makes you interesting to talk to, even if your English is simple. When you ask questions because you truly want to know something, your eyes light up, your voice becomes more natural, and people feel that energy. Confidence doesn't always mean speaking loudly. It often means being curious quietly, asking real questions, and showing genuine interest. Let's imagine you meet someone new. You ask, where are you from? They answer, I'm from Brazil. Now, instead of just saying, oh, that's nice, you can show curiosity. You could say, I've always wanted to visit Brazil. What's it like there? Or, wow, I love Brazilian music. Do you like to dance? See how that turns a short answer into a friendly connection? People love to talk about what they know. When you make them comfortable, they open up, and suddenly you're having a real conversation. Not just practicing English, but connecting as two human beings. Try repeating a few of these natural follow-up lines with me slowly. Oh, really? What's it like there? That sounds amazing. Tell me more. I'd love to see that someday. That must be interesting. I've always been curious about that. Beautiful. Each of these little sentences can turn a simple talk into a warm exchange. They show that you're listening, and that's what makes people enjoy talking to you. Now let's talk about how to make your English sound more natural when you agree or disagree with someone. Many learners feel nervous when they want to disagree politely, so they say nothing. But silence can sometimes feel strange, so let's practice some natural English phrases that help you respond kindly in both situations. When you agree, you can say, I think so too. You're right. That's true. Exactly. Yes, I totally agree. And when you disagree politely, you can say, I'm not sure about that. I see what you mean, but I think that's an interesting point. Maybe, but I have a different opinion. These small phrases make you sound thoughtful and respectful. You don't need to argue, you just need to express yourself calmly. Let's do a short practice session together. I'll say a sentence and you react naturally using one of these phrases. Ready? I think learning English is easy. You might say, I'm not sure about that. It depends on the person. Good. Now, movies are better than books. You can answer, that's interesting. I love both. One more, it's too hard to speak with strangers. You can say, I see what you mean, but practice makes it easier. Excellent! You see how gentle disagreement still keeps the conversation friendly. When you talk to people, try not to rush. Many English learners think speaking fast means speaking fluently. But speed is not fluency. Fluency means flow. It means speaking smoothly, with pauses that sound natural. Even native speakers pause to think. So next time you talk, slow down a little. Take a breath before you answer. It will make you sound calmer and more confident. Try this rhythm exercise with me. Repeat after me slowly. I like learning English. Pause. It makes me happy. Pause. I practice a little every day. Pause. That's how I get better. Wonderful. That's how real conversation sounds. You don't need to rush. You just need rhythm and flow. Now let's imagine some real-life conversations together. Picture yourself at a friend's gathering. Someone smiles at you and says, "Hi, how do you know everyone here?" You can say, "Oh, I'm a friend of Anna's. We study English together." Then ask, "How about you?" Simple, right? Now you're both talking. Or imagine you're at a bookstore and someone says, "That's a good book." You can reply, "Yeah, I've heard great things about it. Have you read it?" These everyday examples are your real fluency moments. You're building bridges every time you answer with curiosity. Many learners tell me, "But Sarah, I don't meet many English speakers in my country." That's okay. You can still practice conversation every single day. You can talk to yourself while walking, while cooking, even while cleaning. Describe what you see. Say things like, "I'm washing the dishes right now," or "I'm walking to the shop," or "I'm feeling a bit tired, but I'm proud I'm practicing." Talking to yourself in English trains your brain to think directly in English. It's one of the most powerful ways to improve fluency fast. Another great way to practice is online. You can join English-speaking groups or language exchange chats. You can even comment on English videos, write short messages, and make friends. Remember, connection comes before perfection. Don't wait to be perfect before you start speaking. Start now, and you'll learn along the way. When you're learning to talk to anyone, body language and tone are as important as your words. Keep your tone friendly. Speak as if you're talking to a friend, not taking an exam. When you sound relaxed, your listener relaxes too. It's like passing calm energy from one person to another. If your tone is warm and polite, even a simple hello can make someone's day brighter. Let's do a small tone exercise. I'll say a sentence and I want you to repeat it softly, with a smile in your voice. Ready? "Hi there, it's nice to see you. That's really interesting." "Oh, that sounds great. I'd love to hear more. It was great talking with you." You can probably feel it. Your voice changes when you smile. That's how you sound friendly, even through words alone. Now let's talk about handling silence. Many learners fear silence in conversation, but silence isn't bad. It's natural. It gives both people time to think. You don't need to fill every second with words. Sometimes smiling and nodding is enough. Use silence as a pause, not a problem. It's part of the natural rhythm of talking. When you stop worrying about silence, your mind stays relaxed, and your next sentence comes easily. If you ever forget a word mid-conversation, don't panic. You can use replacement phrases to keep going. For example, if you forget the word supermarket, you can say, "the place where we buy food." If you forget vacation, you can say, the time when you don't work or study. It's okay to describe instead of naming the exact word. You're still communicating clearly, and that's what matters. The goal is understanding, not perfection. Let's practice this replacement skill. I'll describe a word and you guess what it is. Ready? It's something we use to protect ourselves from rain. Yes, umbrella. Next one. It's a place where people go to watch movies. Right, cinema. One more. It's a drink made from beans and people love it in the morning. Perfect, coffee. See how easy it is. If you can describe something, you'll never be stuck in conversation again. Let's take a short mindset break now. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath and remind yourself, I can do this. I'm improving every day. I can talk to anyone with confidence. Feel that? That's your brain learning to relax while you speak. English isn't just about words. It's about emotion. When your heart is calm, your voice becomes confident. Now imagine you're at a new job or in a new class and you want to make friends. You can start small by talking about common things. The weather, the food, the schedule. You can say, the weather's really nice today, isn't it? Or, I like this class so far. Or, the coffee here is really good. These small, casual sentences open doors, and when you say them with a friendly tone, people will want to keep talking. Remember, people won't remember every word you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. If you make them feel comfortable, they'll enjoy talking to you again. That's how friendships start. One simple, friendly conversation at a time. Before we end this section, let's do a final quick shadowing exercise. Repeat these after me slowly, imagining you're speaking to someone face to face. Hi, how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. Do you live around here? That's nice. I like this area too. It was great chatting with you. Perfect. These are the moments that build confidence, small, natural conversations that make English part of your real life. So next time you meet someone new, take a breath, smile, and say something small. Don't wait for courage to come to you. Create it by speaking. Confidence is built one sentence at a time. Every time you open your mouth to speak English, you're becoming more fluent, more confident, and more yourself. Now that you're becoming more comfortable with starting and keeping conversations, let's explore another key skill: how to sound natural and friendly in English. Many learners focus so much on grammar that they forget tone, emotion, and rhythm. But how you say something is often more important than what you say. You can use simple words, but if your tone is kind and confident, you'll sound fluent and pleasant to talk to. Let's think about this. Imagine someone says to you, "How are you?" You could answer, "I'm fine," but that sounds a bit flat, right? Now try saying, "I'm fine, thank you. How about you?" Instantly, it feels warmer and more friendly. It's not just the words, it's the smile in your voice. That's what makes conversation flow naturally. Try repeating these common responses with me in a relaxed way. "I'm good, thank you." "How about you?" "Pretty good, thanks for asking." "Not bad, just a little tired." "I'm doing great today." Perfect. These small variations make you sound more natural and less robotic. English speakers often use soft, short expressions that show emotion. Now, let's talk about expressions that help you respond quickly in real life. Sometimes you don't have time to think of a full sentence, and that's okay. You can use short phrases like, "Oh, I see. That's nice." "Really? That's funny." "Wow." These small reactions make you sound active in a conversation. They show that you're listening and enjoying it. Try saying them with emotion. "Oh, I see. That's nice." "Really? That's funny." "Wow." Excellent. Notice how your tone changes each time. Practice these every day, even when you're alone, to train your voice to sound more expressive. Now, let's talk about questions, because good questions create good conversations. When you meet someone, avoid asking only yes or no questions. Instead, ask open questions that invite longer answers. For example, instead of "Do you like English?" ask, "Why do you like learning English?" Instead of "Do you work?" ask, "What kind of work do you do?" These small changes turn a simple question into a real conversation starter. Let's practice a few open questions together. Repeat after me slowly. What do you usually do on weekends? How do you spend your free time? What kind of movies do you like? What do you like most about your city? How did you start learning English? Beautiful! These are friendly, useful questions for everyday life. You can use them at school, work, or even online. Sometimes, when you meet someone new, the conversation starts small, maybe with just greetings, but then it grows naturally. You can guide it gently with phrases like, "That reminds me," or "Speaking of that." These transitions help you move smoothly from one topic to another. Let's say someone says, "I love cooking." You can reply, "That reminds me, I tried a new recipe yesterday." See how it connects? It keeps the talk interesting and flowing. Let's practice some connecting phrases together. Say them with me. That reminds me. Speaking of that, by the way. Actually, you know what's funny? Great! These little connectors are the glue that keeps your English conversations natural. Try using them when you practice dialogues or when you talk to yourself in English. Now let's talk about how to show emotion through simple phrases. When something is exciting, you can say, "That's amazing." "Wow, that's great." "Really? That's awesome." When something is surprising, you can say, "Oh, no way. You're kidding. I can't believe that." And when something is sad, you can say, "I'm sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate." "Oh, that must be hard." These expressions show empathy, and empathy makes your English human. Let's try a short emotional rhythm practice. Repeat with me. "That's amazing." "Wow, that's great." "Really? That's awesome." "Oh, no way." "I'm sorry to hear that." Wonderful. These are the natural sounds of real communication. You're not just saying words, you're sharing feelings. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, "Sarah, what if I run out of topics?" Don't worry, that happens to everyone. The trick is to keep a few safe topics ready in your mind. These are subjects that everyone can talk about, like weather, food, hobbies, work, family, or travel. These are universal and always good conversation starters. For example, you can say, "It's been really hot lately, hasn't it? Do you like cooking? I love traveling. Have you ever been to another country? What do you usually do after work?" These are simple, comfortable questions that people enjoy answering. You don't need complex vocabulary, just curiosity and warmth. Let's have a small speaking practice together. I'll start, and you imagine answering. "Do you like coffee or tea?" Maybe you say, "I like coffee. I drink it every morning." Great. Next one. "What do you usually do on Sundays?" You might say, "I relax at home or go out with friends." Perfect. The goal isn't to be perfect. It's to speak naturally and keep the rhythm going. And here's something important. Don't be afraid of short answers at first. Even one line is okay. Over time, those lines will grow into full sentences, then short paragraphs, then real conversations. Confidence grows with use, not with waiting. So keep speaking even if it's just a few words. If you're enjoying this lesson, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more daily English practice. Every like and comment helps us reach more learners just like you, and I truly appreciate it. Now, let's talk about confidence from another angle. the way you think about yourself as an English speaker. Sometimes learners say, I can't speak well, or my English is bad, but words have power. If you keep saying that, your brain starts to believe it. Instead, say, I'm learning. I'm improving every day. I can communicate. These are strong, positive thoughts that build your confidence naturally. Let's repeat some affirmations together. Say them slowly with me. I can speak English confidently. I'm improving every day. I don't need to be perfect to communicate. I'm proud of my progress. Every word I speak makes me better. Excellent. These are your inner voice boosters. The more you say them, the more your confidence grows. Now, let's talk about one of the hardest but most rewarding things, talking to strangers. You don't have to say something deep or complicated. A simple greeting is enough. For example, when you meet someone new, you can say, Hi, I'm Sarah, nice to meet you. Or, Hey, I like your shirt. Or, this place looks great, doesn't it? These small comments are golden. They start friendly energy between people. You're showing that you're open, kind, and willing to connect. Let's do a little practice for this. I'll say the first line and you imagine replying. Hi, nice to meet you. You might say, nice to meet you too. How's your day going? You might say, pretty good, thanks. How about yours? The weather's perfect today. You could say, yes, I love sunny days. Wonderful. These are easy, real-life examples that make conversations smooth and stress-free. When you talk to someone new, focus on the moment, not the mistakes. People remember kindness, not grammar errors. They remember your smile, not your accent. You can have the simplest English in the world, but if you speak with warmth, you'll connect deeply. Confidence is not about showing off. It's about showing up. And if a conversation doesn't go perfectly, that's okay. Maybe you forget a word, or the person doesn't understand you right away. That's not failure, that's practice. Every mistake you make is another step forward. So don't stop speaking because of fear. Speak because of it. The more you do, the smaller the fear becomes. Before we end this section, let's do one final flow practice. I'll say some natural sentences and you repeat them slowly. Feel the calm rhythm of English as you speak. Ready? Hi there, how are you today? I'm good, thanks for asking. What do you like to do in your free time? That's nice. I love that too. It was really great talking to you. Perfect. That's how you build your confidence, one small, friendly exchange at a time. You're doing so well. Really, you should be proud. Every word you practice brings you closer to fluency. Remember, English is not just a language. It's a bridge to connect with people all over the world. And you're already crossing that bridge beautifully, now that you're becoming more confident in simple conversations. Let's explore how to make your talks last longer and feel more natural. Many learners tell me, Sarah, I can start a chat but it ends too quickly. That's totally normal. At the beginning, most people focus on what to say next. But conversation isn't a race to fill silence. It's a rhythm of sharing and responding. Today, we'll focus on how to keep that rhythm going naturally, so your English sounds smooth and confident. One of the best ways to make a conversation last longer is to listen actively. That means not only hearing the words but reacting to them. When someone says, I had a busy day, you can say, Oh, really? What happened? When they say, I just came back from a trip, you can reply, That sounds fun. Where did you go? You're showing interest and inviting them to share more. Active listening is one of the biggest secrets to fluency because it gives you time to think and keeps the connection strong. Let's try this together. I'll say something and you imagine what you would say next. I'm learning how to cook. Maybe you reply, That's great. What's your favorite dish to make? I started a new job last week. Maybe you answer, Oh, nice. How's it going so far? I love going to the beach. You could say, me too. What's your favorite beach? Perfect. Each small question keeps the conversation alive and warm. Now let's talk about listening expressions that sound natural in English. These are short, gentle sounds or phrases that show you're paying attention. You can use, yeah, I see, right, really? Wow, or that's interesting. Try saying them with me one by one. Yeah, I see. Right, really? Wow, that's interesting. Great. These small reactions help your English sound real because they're what people use in daily life. Another helpful trick is to use echoing. This means repeating a small part of what the other person said to show interest. For example, if they say, I just got back from Japan, you can say, from Japan. That's amazing. Or if they say, I'm learning English, you can reply, English? That's great. How long have you been learning? This technique gives you extra time to think while also keeping the talk natural. When you practice English, try to build small reaction habits. It's easy to freeze when you're thinking of grammar, but if you always have a few reaction phrases ready, you'll never feel stuck. Try practicing with these. That's cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Really? Tell me more. That's funny. That's amazing. Oh, same here. When you use them naturally, people will enjoy speaking with you. Sometimes you may meet people who speak very fast, and you might feel nervous. That's okay. You can politely slow the conversation down by using small phrases. Try saying, sorry, could you speak a little slower? Or, I just want to make sure I understand. Or, can you repeat that, please? These are simple and polite, and they give you control of the situation. Most people are happy to repeat or slow down. Don't be shy. It's part of real communication. Let's do a short listening and speaking practice together. I'll say the first line and you answer aloud or in your mind. Ready? I just came back from vacation. Maybe you say, oh, nice. Where did you go? It's been raining all week. You might say, oh, really? That's terrible. I'm learning to play guitar. You can reply, that's awesome. How long have you been learning? Great. See? It's not about long sentences, it's about connection. Now let's talk about tone again, because how you sound matters so much. When you talk, imagine your voice as a gentle wave. It rises and falls naturally. English has rhythm like music. If you speak with emotion, your words sound alive. For example, instead of saying that's interesting in a flat tone, you can say, that's interesting, with a soft rise in your voice. The energy in your tone tells people you care about what they're saying. Try it now. That's amazing. Oh, really? I can't believe it. That's great news. I'm so happy for you. Perfect. When you use feeling in your speech, even short words feel powerful. That's what makes your English memorable. Let's imagine another real-life situation. You're sitting in a cafe, and someone next to you smiles. You smile back, and after a moment you say, the coffee smells really good here. They nod and say, yeah, it does. You reply, do you come here often? And suddenly, you're in a friendly conversation. It started with something small but real. Every big conversation starts with a tiny spark like that. If you ever worry about making mistakes, remind yourself, people are not counting your errors. They're listening to your meaning. Even if you use the wrong tense or forget a word, the other person will understand if your tone and expression are friendly. You're learning a second language. That's impressive. Most people will admire your effort more than your grammar. Now, I want to share a small technique that many fluent speakers use. Paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means saying the same idea in a different way. This helps when you can't remember a word, or when you want to make sure you understood correctly. For example, if someone says, "I had a hectic day," and you're not sure what hectic means, you can say, "Oh, you mean it was a busy day?" That shows understanding. Or if you forget the word expensive, you can say, "It costs a lot." That's paraphrasing. It keeps communication clear. Let's practice together. I'll give you one sentence, and you say it in another way. Ready? It's too cold. You could say, "It's freezing. I'm hungry." Maybe I need something to eat. I'm happy. You could say, "I feel great. It's beautiful. Maybe it looks amazing. Wonderful." These small changes make your English sound flexible and confident. Here's another technique: linking words. Linking words are connectors like and, but, so, and because. They help you build longer, more fluent sentences. For example, instead of saying, "I like coffee, I drink it every morning," you can say, "I like coffee because I drink it every morning." Or, "I like coffee, but I prefer tea in the evening." Linking words make your English smoother and more natural. Let's repeat a few together. I like apples and bananas. I'm tired, but I'll finish my work. It's cold, so I'll wear a jacket. I didn't go out because it was raining. Excellent! You see, these small connectors give your sentences rhythm and flow. Now let's talk about practice, how you can train your speaking confidence every single day. You don't need a partner to practice English conversation. You can practice with yourself, your mirror, or even your phone. Talk about your day, describe your surroundings, or tell short stories. For example, say, "This morning I woke up early and made breakfast. Then I watched a video in English. Now I'm practicing speaking with Sarah." That's real practice. You can also record yourself speaking for 1 or 2 minutes a day, then listen back. You might notice small things like speed, pronunciation, or tone. Don't judge yourself, just notice and improve. When you listen to your own voice often, you'll start feeling more comfortable speaking English in public. If you're enjoying this lesson so far, please give it a like and subscribe to Talk English Now for more daily English practice. Your support means a lot and helps us keep creating free lessons for you. Now, let's add one more layer: confidence through kindness. When you talk to others, try to make them feel good. Compliment them sincerely. You can say, "I like your accent. It sounds nice." Or, "You explain things so clearly," or, "That's a great idea." When you make others feel comfortable, they'll open up more, and you'll feel more confident too. Kindness is a universal language. It makes communication easy in every country. Let's practice a few kind phrases together. "It's great talking to you." "You're really good at explaining things." "I like your smile." "That's a smart idea. You speak very clearly." Excellent. Use these often. They bring positivity into your conversations. Before we finish this section, remember this: speaking English fluently doesn't mean knowing every word. It means being brave enough to use the words you already know. Every time you talk, your vocabulary grows naturally. Every sentence you speak teaches your brain a new pattern. You don't need to rush. Just keep moving forward, one word, one smile, one conversation at a time. So take a deep breath, relax your shoulders, and tell yourself, "I can speak confidently. I'm improving every day." Because you really are. And the more you believe that, the faster you'll see progress. The English you speak today may not be perfect, but it's powerful because it's yours. Now let's talk about something very important: how to keep your English conversation feeling natural even when it doesn't go as planned. Sometimes you'll forget a word, sometimes you'll make a mistake, sometimes the other person won't understand you right away. But that's okay. Real communication is not about being perfect. It's about being patient and flexible. The best English speakers aren't the ones who never make mistakes. They're the ones who keep talking, even when things go a little off track. Here's what to do when that happens. If you forget a word, don't stop completely. You can describe it. For example, if you forget the word airport, you can say, the place where planes take off. If you forget the word wallet, you can say, the thing you use to keep money. The other person will understand right away. You can also ask for help by saying, how do you say it? Shows you're learning and staying engaged, and most people love to help. Let's practice this skill right now. I'll describe something, and you say the word in your head. You use it to take pictures, camera. You use it when it rains, umbrella. You use it to write, pen. You use it to call someone, phone. Great! The more you practice describing and guessing words like this, the faster your brain learns to find meaning, even when you forget vocabulary. Now, let's talk about how to handle nervous moments. When you speak English with someone new, your heart might beat faster. That's totally normal. Even native speakers feel nervous in new situations. The trick is not to fight the nerves, just accept them. Take a deep breath, smile, and start small. Once the conversation begins, your mind will relax. The fear disappears after you take the first step. Try saying this to yourself before you speak. It's okay to feel nervous. I can still communicate. Every time I speak, I become more confident. These small reminders change how your brain feels about speaking. You're not just learning English, you're training your emotions too. Here's another great tip. When you speak, focus more on the person you're talking to than on yourself. Don't think, am I saying this correctly? Instead, think, am I understanding this person? Or am I connecting with them? This small change helps you relax. When you care more about connection than perfection, your English becomes smoother naturally. Let's do a real-life imagination exercise. Picture yourself meeting someone at a park. They say, "Beautiful day, isn't it?" You smile and reply, "Yes, it's perfect. I love sunny weather." They ask, "Do you come here often?" You say, "Sometimes I like to walk here after work." Simple, natural, friendly. You didn't overthink grammar or vocabulary, you just enjoyed the talk. That's what real fluency feels like. Now let's talk about expanding small talk into deeper conversation. After a few friendly exchanges, you can move into personal topics like hobbies, travel, or opinions. For example, you can say, "I love listening to music. It helps me relax." Or, "I'm learning English because I want to travel." When you share a little about yourself, people respond with their own stories, and suddenly, you're not just small talking, you're connecting. Try practicing with these prompts. I love, I enjoy, I'm interested in, I like to. These open sentences help you express yourself naturally. Let's say them together slowly. I love cooking. I enjoy reading before bed. I'm interested in learning new languages. I like to go for evening walks. Great! These patterns are easy to use in any conversation. And here's something else. Don't worry about repeating yourself. In natural speech, repetition is normal. People often say things twice to show emotion or to keep the talk flowing. For example, "Really? Really?" Or "That's so nice, so nice." It's not bad English, it's natural rhythm. So if your mind repeats a word, let it happen. It actually makes your English sound more real and expressive. Now, let's talk about compliments again, because they're powerful tools in conversation. A simple compliment can open hearts quickly. You can say, "I like your accent. You're really good at explaining things. That's a nice jacket." Or "You always look so cheerful." Everyone likes to hear something kind, but make sure it's honest. Real compliments make people feel comfortable and bring more positive energy into the talk. Let's do a quick practice round. Imagine I say a compliment, and you respond naturally. Ready? You speak English really well. You might reply, "Thank you. I still have a lot to learn, but I enjoy practicing. I like your outfit." You could say, "Thanks. That's so nice of you. You're very funny." You might answer, "Really? Thank you. I try." Excellent! Simple responses like these make you sound polite and confident. Now, one question I often hear is, "Sarah, how do I sound more fluent when I'm nervous?" The answer is, slow down. Nervous speakers talk too fast because they want to finish quickly, but speed creates mistakes. Slow speech, on the other hand, sounds thoughtful and fluent. So next time you speak, breathe and use gentle pauses. It's okay to take your time. Even native speakers pause often. Let's practice the calm speaking rhythm together. Repeat after me slowly. "Hi, I'm Sarah." Pause. "It's nice to meet you." Pause. "How are you today?" Pause. "I'm doing great, thank you." Wonderful. When you speak slowly, your mind has more space to think and your voice sounds more confident. That's your real fluency coming through. Now imagine you're having a longer conversation. The other person starts telling a story and you're listening. Instead of staying silent, you can show engagement with small sounds. "Uh-huh, yeah, wow, oh really?" These are called back-channel responses, and they make your English sound natural. They show that you're listening without interrupting. Let's practice a few, "Uh-huh, yeah, oh really? That's interesting, perfect." Keep them soft and friendly. Here's another important lesson. Be okay with not knowing everything. If someone uses a new word, don't panic. Just ask politely. You can say, "What does that mean? Can you explain that?" Or, "Sorry, I don't know that word." The moment you ask, you're already learning. Fluent speakers still ask questions all the time because language never stops growing. Let's talk about stories now, because stories are the heart of great conversations. People love to tell them. And sharing your own stories helps others understand you better. You don't need long, dramatic stories. Even small stories work perfectly. For example, last weekend I went shopping, but it started raining and I forgot my umbrella. See? It's simple but interesting because it's real. Practice telling small stories about your day, things that happened at work, at home, or on your way somewhere. It helps your English become more alive. Let's do a short story practice. I'll give you a few topics. You can think of short stories for each one in your mind. Ready? Something funny that happened this week, your favorite food and how you make it, a small trip you enjoyed, a time you helped someone. Beautiful. When you practice storytelling in English, your confidence and memory grow naturally. Now here's something you might not expect. Being silent for a moment can actually make you sound more confident. When you pause before answering, it shows you're thinking carefully. People see that as confidence, not hesitation. So next time someone asks you a question, don't rush. Take a breath, think, then answer calmly. You'll sound clear and self-assured. If you're enjoying this lesson so far, please give it a like and subscribe to Talk English Now. Your support helps us reach more learners around the world and keeps these free lessons coming every day. Before we finish this section, let's do a reflection exercise together. Think about the last time you spoke English with someone. Maybe it was a classmate, a coworker, or someone online. Ask yourself, what went well? What did I do right? Maybe you smiled, maybe you started the conversation, maybe you understood more than before. Those are victories. They matter. Focus on what's improving, not what's missing. Confidence in English grows when you notice your progress, so every evening tell yourself one sentence: today I practice speaking, and that means I'm improving. No matter how small the step, it's still a step forward. You're learning a global language, building real communication skills, and you should be proud of that. So take a deep breath with me, smile, and say softly, I can do this because you can. You're already proving it every time you speak, listen, and practice with me here. And remember, you don't have to be perfect to be proud, you just have to keep going. Now that you've learned so many ways to start, continue, and enjoy real conversations in English, let's talk about something deeper: how to become the kind of person who speaks naturally and confidently anywhere. Fluency isn't only about words. It's about attitude, mindset, and self-trust. You can know all the grammar in the world, but if you don't believe in yourself, your words will hide. So let's work on the part that makes all the difference: your confidence from within. First, remember that learning a language is not a straight line. Some days you'll feel great and everything will flow easily. Other days, even simple words might feel hard to say. That's normal. Progress is not a mountain you climb, it's a wave. It moves up and down, but always forward. So when you have a slow day, don't feel bad. Those are the days that build your patience, and patience is part of fluency too. When you talk to others in English, remind yourself that communication is about meaning, not perfection. You might forget a word, use the wrong tense, or mix up grammar, but as long as the person understands you, that's success. You're not here to pass a test, you're here to connect. Every time you speak, you're building confidence, one real moment at a time. Now let's practice some small but powerful confidence phrases. Repeat after me softly. I can speak clearly. I can express myself. My English doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. I'm learning more every time I speak. I believe in myself. Very nice. Feel how strong that sounds? These small affirmations teach your brain to relax, so when it's time to speak, you feel ready instead of nervous. Let's imagine a few real situations together. Picture yourself meeting a new person at work. They smile and say, "Hi, how are you?" You take a breath, smile back, and say, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" The conversation flows. You ask about their job, their hobbies, their weekend plans. You feel calm and confident. Now imagine you're in a cafe, and the barista says, "What would you like today?" You say clearly, "I'll have a cappuccino, please." Small moment, big success. You spoke naturally. You didn't freeze, you communicated. Fluency lives in small, real moments like these, not in long tests or big speeches. So the next time you speak English, don't think, "I have to impress someone." Think, "I just want to connect." That thought alone will change how your voice sounds, how your body feels, and how people respond to you. When you speak with kindness and curiosity, you make people feel comfortable, and that's real confidence. Let's do a little guided shadowing together. I'll say a sentence, and you repeat it out loud. Imagine you're speaking to a friend. Ready? "Hi, it's nice to see you. How have you been?" "That's great to hear. I've been busy but good. Do you like this place?" "Yeah, it's really nice. Let's grab a coffee sometime." Perfect. This short practice helps you hear your own natural rhythm. Remember, practice doesn't need to be long, it just needs to be consistent. Now let's talk about relaxation. One of the reasons many learners struggle with speaking is because they tense up before talking. Your shoulders rise, your voice tightens, your brain starts to panic. So before you speak, pause, take a slow breath in, and exhale slowly. That small breath resets your body. You can even smile gently while breathing. It tells your mind that you're safe, and when your body feels safe, your words come out easily. Sometimes confidence grows faster when you help others. If you know someone else who's learning English, talk to them, practice together, teach each other new phrases, encourage them when they feel shy. You'll notice that when you help someone else, your own speaking becomes stronger. Teaching is one of the best ways to learn. Now, I want to talk about a little secret that great English speakers know. Fluency doesn't come from speaking perfectly, it comes from speaking often. You can't learn to swim by reading about swimming. You have to jump into the water. English is the same. You have to use it. Even 10 minutes a day of speaking, shadowing, or repeating after me can make a huge difference. Over time, your brain starts to think in English without translating, and that's when the magic begins. Let's practice thinking in English for a moment. I'll describe a situation, and I want you to think of what you would say in English. Ready? You're in a shop, and the cashier says, "Do you need a bag?" You answer, "Yes, please. Thank you." Next, you're at work and someone says, "How was your weekend?" You say, "It was nice. I went out with friends." You're on a bus and a tourist asks, "Does this go to the city center?" You say, "Yes, it does." Wonderful. Each short moment is real communication practice. Now imagine a few more daily moments. Ordering food, talking to a classmate, asking for directions, greeting a neighbor. Each one is an opportunity. Don't wait for the perfect time to speak English. The perfect time is every time you open your mouth. Every little conversation adds up. If you ever feel shy, remind yourself, everyone starts somewhere. Even the most confident English speakers were once beginners. They made mistakes, forgot words, and said funny sentences, but they kept going. They didn't stop. And that's why they're fluent today. You're on the same path. Step by step, sentence by sentence, you're becoming more fluent too. Let's take a small moment of gratitude right now. Close your eyes for a second, take a breath, and say quietly to yourself, "I'm proud of how far I've come. I'm thankful for my progress. I'm learning and I'm growing." These small thoughts fill your heart with calm confidence. They remind you that your effort matters, because it truly does. Now let's finish this lesson with a few conversation patterns you can use anytime. Repeat after me slowly. "Hi, it's nice to meet you. How's your day going?" "That's great. I love that too. What do you usually do on weekends?" "That sounds fun." "I hope you have a great day." Beautiful. These small, natural sentences will help you feel ready for any situation. If you're still feeling a little nervous about speaking, that's okay. Confidence takes time. But remember, every time you listen, repeat, and try, you're growing stronger. Confidence doesn't come before practice. It comes from practice. So keep speaking even when it feels hard. One day, you'll realize that what used to scare you now feels easy. If you've been following this lesson from the beginning, you've already practiced listening, repeating, asking questions, showing interest, staying calm, and building connection. That's a big step forward. You're not just learning English, you're learning how to be a confident communicator, someone who can connect with anyone, anywhere. And as we end this video, I want you to remember this simple truth. Fluency is not about speed, it's about confidence. It's not about saying everything perfectly, it's about saying something honestly. Every time you speak, you're building courage. Every word you say is proof that you're growing. So wherever you are right now, take a deep breath, smile softly, and say to yourself, I can talk to anyone with confidence because you can. You've learned how to start small, stay calm, ask questions, show interest, and keep the conversation going. That's the real foundation of English fluency. Thank you so much for joining me in this lesson today. I'm so proud of you for listening, practicing, and staying committed to your English journey. Remember, confidence grows when you use your voice. So, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself. You're doing amazing, and this is only the beginning. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell icon so you don't miss future lessons. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, keep smiling, keep practicing, and keep speaking English every single day. You're doing great.